Hey everyone, this is Sherry Lucas, the dog behaviorist, and tonight I want to talk to you about the place command. Anyone who's trained under me or who's been my client knows how important I believe this concept is. It's one of the foundational principles of dog training, and once you get your dog conditioned, like him, to the place command, it's going to make your life so much easier because there's tons and tons of applications that you can use with this particular exercise. So what I'm going to show you is how to do it. And of course, it's something that requires practice, but it's really a low maintenance type of an exercise to teach your dog. You only need to practice it between 5, 6, 7, maximum 8 minutes at a time. You don't want to overdo it with this exercise. And you do the exercise depending on your schedule, 3 times a day. If you're really lucky, if you've got a lifestyle that allows you to do it 5 times a day, that's even better. Within a few days, or especially within a couple of weeks, you're going to have an amazing dog, and you're going to have a principle dialed into this dog and conditioned to this dog that you'll be able to use for so many different things. So here's how we get started. First of all, we need a good leash, and I just happen to have a amazing Lucas Agnew leash right here. And my subject that's going to help us out tonight is Bjorn, the very handsome pit bull here. Bjorn. He's chewing on his feet, which is probably more exciting than doing place work. Come here. Come on, buddy. Let's go. So my dogs all love doing place work because they've all been taught how to do it, and they've never been punished for breaking the place command, which is one of my other tenets of this work, is that you never punish a dog for not complying with the place command. You just gently take him back to that. So much of when you're working with a dog, if you want to be successful with that dog, so much of it is contingent on the fact that you make it very clear to the dog what it is you want from him. Too many times people go in and they punish a dog for doing something, either urinating on the carpet, chewing something up, not coming when called. It could be anything. But what they don't realize is that they haven't told the dog, first of all, what it is they want from him. And they're punishing the dog so that from the dog's perspective, he doesn't know what it is that upset his human, right? So we have to make it clear, just like we do in child rearing. We tell a child exactly what it is that they need to do in order to be a successful adult. And once we've told them that, then we hope that they can avoid being corrected later on in life if they don't abide by certain principles, right? If you give a dog or a child enough direction, they probably won't have to suffer many corrections. So what I'm going to do with Bjorn, my big fat-headed boy here, is I'm going to show him, of course he knows how to do this, so I'm just going to do the best I can with a dog that's already dialed into this exercise. But here's, I've got a place board right here, which is a big 40 by 40 inch professional place board that a lot of trainers use because it's lightweight. You can carry it around, you can take it to a client's home, so on and so forth. And it's up off the ground, so it's a place that a dog can look at and see that it's significantly different than just a place on the ground, right? So I'm going to take him, Bjorn, let's go. Place. So I'm going to say the word place just before I get to the place board. And he's going to go on here. In this particular case, he's going to scent the board, meaning that he's going to catch the different scents because other dogs have worked on this, not only today, but every day. And so he's going to smell it. But I don't care because I know that Bjorn knows what I want, which is just that. I want Bjorn to know that this place, although it is made out of nylon, PVC pipe, rubber legs, all these different physical things, that it's actually a psychological place. So I want this to be, there's nothing I can do about this. So I want it to actually be a state of mind for my dogs, to know that they can go there with one word, right? One word. Place means go there, stay there, relax there, lay down there, don't get off of there, chill out there, nothing can go wrong there. So there's no food involved. I never do treat training when I train dogs. That's my philosophy. I believe that food conditions the brain to be excited, and that's not what I want when I'm dog training. Plus, I don't want to have a dog only do something to only comply with me because it's contingent on whether I have food in my hand or not. I do not want that, and I've never trained with food. So he goes on there out of pure respect for me and because we've worked on this exercise repeatedly. So now I've got him on here. All right, so let's say that he's a dog that's never done this before. Well, at first, I'm not going to be able to let go of the leash. I'm going to hold the leash, and I'm just going to, Bjorn, Can you stop scratching? Thank you. So I'm going to move away from this area, and I'm going to keep him on here, make sure that he doesn't move, which of course he's not going to move because he knows what I want. But let's say this is a dog that doesn't get it yet, right? So he's going to be trying to get off the board. So every time he tries to get off, I'm going to use a little bit of leash pressure to guide him back onto this space. So it's hard to set up with a dog that actually knows how to do it, but it's also hard to set up with a dog that's never done it before. So we're just going to have to pretend here. So let's say he's trying to get off. So every time he tries to get off, I'm going to step in, use some spatial pressure into him, which he totally recognizes because that's how I work with all my dogs. Use a little bit of leash pressure to get him back. And I may do this exercise for a minute, 60 seconds if that, right? I'll do that first. I'll move around. I'll give him an opportunity to break the place, but he's not going to. But let's say that he tries to. So I'm going to be going through all that. Then I say, I wait to get eye contact from him. There you go. Let's go. I say, Bjorn, let's go. And with a little bit of pressure, I lead him off the bed. And I may take him through the house. I may take him out to the yard. I may just do a little loop. And then I'm going to take him back. Bjorn, place. So this time I'm going to ask a little bit more of him. Obviously, we're speeding this up for the sake of a video. But this time I'm going to ask for him to stay there. I'm going to drop the leash because I see that he's starting to dial in. He's starting to tune into what it is that I want. So I'm going to drop the leash. I'm going to, because I'm confident about this exercise and my ability to connect with my dog because I do a lot of work with my dogs. So I'm going to be able to drop the leash. The worst thing that can happen is he gets off the place. Big deal. I lead him back on. So I move away further this time. This time I go this way. I move away this way, right? I do all kinds of things. Maybe I get down low, which would be an incentive for a dog to go towards me. You can see what it does to Sandor, but look who's staying on the place, right? I know, you're not part of this exercise. So he's staying there. So let's say that that's the second, now we're into maybe minute 2 or 3, probably 3 or 4 of this exercise. And so now I'm going to wait, look at eye contact. Let's go. I take him off. I take him around. I move him back. Place. This time I sort of toss the leash. So I'm not using as much leash pressure. More than anything, I'm using a little bit of leash guidance, right? So that's less forceful or less, it's less strong than just actually pulling him or using pure leash pressure to put him on the place. But because I'm seeing that he's starting to get it, right? He's starting to connect with me. He understands what I want. So this is something, if any of you that have watched me know that I'm a big proponent of what I refer to as incremental training, meaning that you do little spurts of training with your dog, and each time you ask for a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And that way you don't set yourself up for failure, you don't set your dog up for failure, you just each day or each time you train, you ask for a little bit more. So if you for example, if you say tomorrow I'm going to get 40% of what I actually want to accomplish ultimately with this dog, and you get 40%, then you actually got 100% of what you set out to do. So that's a big confidence builder to your dogs, okay? So once you get these basics down, then you're going to be asking your dog to do more when you're creating more distractions. So maybe you've got a dog that's reactive at the front door. So you condition him to be calm on the place while he's in the house. And the place can be a professional place bed. It can be a pillow. It can be a dog bed from Costco. It can be an expensive dog bed from whatever. It doesn't matter. It can be a towel. It can be anything that you ask the dog to go to relax there. That's what it can be. So then you start upping the challenge. You squat down like I did, which kind of makes the dog feel like, are you calling me? Or maybe you walk out towards the door. Or maybe you go into another room. And each time, if the dog starts to get up, you walk toward the dog using spatial pressure, which I can't do with him because he's not trying to get off. But you use spatial pressure, boom, eye contact, psychological pressure, right? If you need to, you do a little bit of touch. You can touch with your knee. You can touch with your hand. You can touch with a leash. Do a little guidance, a little pressure, whatever it takes to get him back on that place gently, because remembering always that your dog will comply with you when he understands exactly what it is that you want. So it's incumbent on you to teach him what that is. you're smarter than the dog. You will always be smarter than a dog. You just have to learn how to communicate with the dog in a way that he understands. So zip it. Don't use a lot of commands early on. Just act like a dog, training another dog. And that's what's going to really get you there. And ultimately, that's what's going to create this amazing conversation between you and your dog, where you don't need words, you don't need commands. You can literally look at your dog through the window and go, hey, and your dog will stop doing whatever they're doing and will go to his place. Okay? Hope that makes sense. That's my explanation on Place Work 101. Okay? We'll have more later. Have a great night. Bye.